Hi everyone, it's Carol from Crinkled Path Journals, and I'm here with another memory keeping with me in my farm journal, and I'm going to make a nest page today. Thanks for coming along today. I appreciate you watching, and to all my new subscribers, welcome. And to those of you who come back faithfully, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you coming along with memory keeping and Thrifty Thursdays and all the other fun things we get to do. Oh, this is so cute with the birds and the kids looking at the birds. I wanted to document some nests on our property. One nest is more of a story about a nest. We had mockingbirds, and so I brought this bird book out because I wanted to cut a mockingbird out. So I marked a page with mockingbirds on it. And we have this northern mockingbird in our area. And I also had grabbed a couple ephemera pieces from my small ephemera boxes from birds. And I have some photos to put on the page as well. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it on this sheet across from this one. I don't really want to add anything to this page. I like it just as it is. But because the birds are on there, I think it's perfect to do this page here. Let me go ahead and cut our bird friend out here. For many years on our property, we had a loose baseboard up under the eaves, and a mama mockingbird and a daddy mockingbird would build their nest up in the eaves under the, well, actually the rafters. They'd go in through the eaves, and then they'd build their nest up in our attic rafters. Several years ago, my husband and I re-roofed the house and fixed the fascia during a time when the mockingbirds weren't there. And it was always kind of comforting to hear them making their little noises up above where our bathroom is, and hearing the little birds. And mockingbirds do not stay in the nest long at all. They develop so quickly, and often people mistakenly pick them up when they have left the nest because they look so young and they look like they've fallen out, but they really are just fledglings that are leaving the nest early. And our little roof-dwelling mockingbirds seem to come back every year, and I often wonder if it was the same bird for a while, and then if maybe some of their young came back. And I tried to read up, and for all intents and purposes, the reading I was doing say that mockingbirds don't return to the same nest, but we had them coming back to that roof place, and then we didn't see them for a long time, maybe 5 years, because they couldn't get up there. And during the shutdowns in our country in 2020, I did a lot of gardening, and I planted a bougainvillea bush on a lattice. And last year that bush had gotten quite large, and a mockingbird built a nest in the back of the bush behind the lattice. And bougainvilleas have kind of big thorns. They're very leafy. They have little paper-like pink flowers all over them, which I need to do a page about that. Because of the stickers, I think the mockingbirds feel very comfortable there. Sorry, I can't talk and put things on the page. So we had mockingbird babies in the bougainvillea last year, and this year they came back. And this is a picture of our babies from this year. You don't want to touch anything around their nest or touch them, and don't mistake them when only 5 days later, this is what they went from looking like from here to here in 5 days. And this little fledgling is just sitting out, still would open its mouth when mom would come, and the mockingbird mama then a couple days later moved them along to some bigger trees on the other side of our yard. But it was so fun to see them up close and have our mockingbirds back. And we have the daddy mockingbird sings and sings and sings in our tree. And mockingbirds steal songs from other birds, so to speak, in that they mock other birds. They make the same sounds as the other birds that live around the area. And we have a mama hawk that builds a nest way up in a eucalyptus tree, hundreds of feet above the ground in the field next to us. And the daddy mockingbird makes the noise of the baby hawk, a screech noise. And so then I'm looking for the baby hawk, and then I'm thinking, oh, all right, I remember. It's just the daddy mockingbird making the noise. We have those two bird nests that I wanted to document, both the hawk's nest and the mockingbird's nest. And I wanted to include these pictures of this year's mockingbird babies. But then I also wanted to include a different nest that we discovered on our property for the first time this year. And that is a bird's nest fungus. I'm feeling like Possum Patty right now because she's an incredible nature journaler, and I just had to share this with you. So these are in a strawberry pot, which I'm growing mint in actually, because mint runs crazy. If you plant it in the ground, it spreads like a weed and it's really hard to pull out. So the mint in our garden is planted in a strawberry pot, which has one main pot and then a bunch of little tiny pots along the edge stick out. And I don't have anything planted in those. And my son-in-law was tending the garden, pulling some weeds, and he said, I think I found some like eggs, bug eggs or lizard eggs or something in the mint pot. So I went to go look, and I took this picture, and I'm really hoping you can see, but there is this fungus that grows, and it gets this fuzzy cap on it, and then spores grow inside, and then this fuzzy top dries out and kind of peels off, and then the spores just sit there until it rains. And when it rains, the raindrops fall in and it makes the spores pop out and plant more. And it's a pretty harmless fungus to the mint plant. It's not hurting the mint plant. Growing alongside in the outer edges of the pot, not the main central pot that the mint is in. But I just thought they were absolutely fascinating. And I looked them up, and they are called bird nest fungus fungi, because each little pod has these little spores in it that look like eggs in a nest. And there's a whole bunch of varieties. And I was really surprised to find them here. All I could do reading up on this particular variety didn't really suggest that they should be here, but they nature is nature, and I'm not questioning it. All right, so we want to get these. Maybe I should find a hawk picture too, although I don't know what kind of hawk it is. Mama always stays very high up in her nest, and I haven't seen her come close enough, and she's had babies in that nest 3 years in a row now. Maybe if I look at the pictures, something will look familiar. These are osprey, eagles, Cooper's hawk. Yeah, none of these look quite right. All right, I think I'm going to skip that. Maybe I can add a hawk later when I get that one identified. I think I'm going to do my journaling on the back of this card. And I think this might be a Tim Holtz ephemera card. Not sure exactly. It's so fun now to see the grown babies all over our yard. My husband and I sit outside every morning with our coffee, and it's so much fun to watch all the birds. And we see the babies now, even though they're kind of teenager looking birds, and it's just really fun. And we have a lot of magpies and robins, quail. I cannot get the glue to work today. Okay, we're switching gears. My glue stick. And then I'm thinking I can use this as a tuck. Maybe I'll put it down here. And then fortunately, my pictures all have sticky backing. So I'll put my little mockingbirds down here in the middle. Now my fingers are all gluey. And I'll put my little bird's nest fungi up here at the top. Well, that hasn't happened for a while, but my camera quit recording and I didn't realize it. So let me show you what else I ended up adding to the page. I will go ahead and pick this up and get it closer. I took this little piece of doily and put an egg in it like a nest. I used some Creative Memories stickers to put the title on. I did finally end up finding a picture of a nest, and so I added that here. And then all this natural fiber woven material that's on here is from Happy Mail from Chasing Retro. And these little dangles are just some leather that is painted to look like feathers on an earring hanger. And I did go ahead and do my journaling. Started it on the page and then finished it on the back of the card. So sorry that made the video a little shorter, but thank you for joining me today, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.